You are looking live.
Here comes the play. Goodman at the free throw line. Jumper.
He broke his ankles. He is Houdini.
Mickey Mantle don't care about you, so why should you care about him? Nobody cares.
That's not a good call. No.
You don't like that call.
I don't like that call.
Woo, 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 woo. Not so fast.
The Eagles. There was a lot of controversy about the Philadelphia Eagles after their loss to the Buccaneers in the wild card round. And this, to me at least, it felt a lot like classic Ravens fans from the Joe Flacco era, right? Where you lose a game and it is the sky's falling and Joe Flacco's the worst, right? Where you win a game and you're like, hey, this Joe Flacco guy's pretty good. That is how it felt incredibly similar. It was uncanny how similar that felt for the Eagles this year. They would win a game and everybody was like, man, Jalen Hurts is great. They lose a game and they want Jalen Hurts' head to be cut off. They want the guy executed. And I don't know. I think that's a little. I think some of the reaction following the Buccaneers game, sure, you could say some of it was warranted. I'm not saying Hurts had a great game against Tampa, but think of it this way. He is a second-year quarterback. This was his first year starting every game. He had young players for the most part around him, right? They got rid of their veteran guy, Zach Ertz, and I know Dallas Goedert's been around for a while. They had Jalen Reagor, who, God bless the guy, can't catch. They got Devontae Smith, who was a rookie. They had, the only really experience they had was the offensive line and the running backs. For the most part, the wide receivers were pretty young. And, again, I understand that Dallas Goedert has been there for a few years. But he's still kind of this was the first year where he was tight end one. You know what I mean? In years prior, he was really kind of under Zach Ertz's shadow. At least I felt that way. Combine that with the fact that it was a first-year head coach. This was Nick Sirianni's first year as the Eagles head coach, and they went to the playoffs. I don't know. I call that a pretty good season in my book. But knowing Eagles fans, that's just never good enough. And again, I get it. The game against Tampa wasn't pretty. It wasn't the best game in the world. But I don't know. I think some of the reaction following that game was a little ridiculous. People were like, get rid of Jalen Hurts. He's the worst. He's terrible. Okay. Did you just forget about the whole, 17-game season that he just played? Minus the game against Dallas in Week 18. Did you just forget about all that stuff that he did to get you to this point? What did you expect? Did you expect this team to go win the Super Bowl? I felt like they could have made the playoffs, but at the beginning of the season, I didn't expect them to make the playoffs. I feel like at this point, you look at the Eagles and you say, hey, they beat expectations. And after losing to Tampa, all of a sudden people are just like, get rid of Jalen Hurts. It's over. And it's well, okay, that seems a little unfair. And speaking more on Nick Sirianni, going into this season, I was really unsure about him. The interview, the opening presser, the opening presser was kind of odd. Remember the one, you know what I'm talking about, the one where he's like, we're going to do the things we need to do to win games. And, right now we don't really know what those things are, but, we're going to figure that out. And we're going to just do what we have to do to be successful. And it was kind of a brain melter, right? Where you're like, what is he talking about? What in the world is he saying right now? That's kind of what you felt like. And I think that, I think at this season at least, Nick Sirianni showed that throughout the course of a season, he can make adjustments and changes to where the team is going to win games, right? Like there was a point in the season where early on, Jalen Hurts was struggling a little bit, and so he went to the run game, and we went to a more run heavy attack, right? And what do you know, that worked for them. So like, and there were times where, you felt like Jalen Reagor didn't get thrown the ball as much as he did in games prior, and that was mostly because he wasn't catching the ball. So they said, okay, maybe we should stop, throwing it to him so much. So, and I think that's kind of overlooked when you look back at this season for the Eagles. But again, from my perspective, it felt like the Philadelphia Eagles and Nick Sirianni showed that like this thing's going to work. I don't think that Sirianni's a guy that you're going to can in 2 or 3 years. And sure, things can change. I might be wrong about that. But this season seemed like a pretty good start, right? To make the playoffs in your first year as the coach with a, relatively young core on offense and a defense that you're rebuilding. I would call that a successful season in my book. I know some Eagles fans out there won't be as I know that some Eagles fans out there won't be as positive with their team, but I think you just need to be a little bit patient, a little bit more patient with the Eagles. I think they're right there, and I think you just got to be patient because I think if again they are on, they had a really good start, like this season in terms of like the Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts era was a really good start.